You walk out the cave, you get hit with the little Men in Black light, you turn back into a just mindless bear.
How the kids doing?
That's great.
I mean, what are they, 13, 14 now?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't keep track either.
God, claws getting bigger.
I know.
That's always a good time.
Yeah.
Always a good. Bram.
Walter! Walter! Hey! Hey! Hey-o! Welcome back.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back to the LooneyBin Podcast, episode 21 of season 2. Yep, exactly. I knew that was going to come up. I'm Preston.
I'm Nate.
And I'm Cole.
And once again, guys, sorry we're late. We got caught up. We were laminating a lot of sheets of paper.
A lot of sheets of paper.
Yeah. Basically, Cole had this textbook, and he was supposed to buy a textbook, and he didn't want to pay the money. So he found a homeless man who happened to be in the class.
Right.
And said, "Hey, can I borrow the book?" Right. Took it to the local library, photocopied every single page.
Every single page.
And then we turned it into one big placemat.
Yep.
Yep.
That
And it's on the ceiling
Yeah,
currently.
my room.
It's right. Oh.
of Cole's room.
Every night when I go to sleep,
two
it's
ceilings
just,
above this one.
yes, Econ
Right.
1002.
Isn't there like a thing where like if you fall asleep like with a book under your pillow or whatever, like
You get some osmosis.
I always
Yeah.
heard that it's supposed
Yeah,
the
my-
last thing you think about is something you're going to be dreaming about. So
My cousin told me to sleep on textbooks. Yeah.
told you to sleep on textbooks?
Yeah, to like absorb the knowledge better. But
Like on your back or stuff
don't
in
act-
between the mattress or what?
no, I think under the pillow. Under the
Okay.
pillow situation, yeah.
Okay, that seems
Yeah.
better.
Close to the noggin.
Could you imagine your cousin's just trying to fuck with you and he's just like, dude, you need to sleep with it.
Sleep
you know, like your whole under your whole body,
Yeah.
all the way down.
You need to like every textbook you have, just like a,
Yeah. Just
and you're just I'm sleeping like you go to the doctor. They're
terrible.
like I'm sleeping like shit.
You missed the test because you can't
'Cause you
fucking
sleep like
sleep.
fucking
You slept through
shit.
it.
Right. It's like, hey, how'd your test go? I didn't get there.
Yep.
Didn't get there.
Anytime someone comes over, it's just, what are we doing?
Yeah. Like, hey, babe, come on, let's go upstairs.
But then eventually, you've gotten so accustomed to it that you're like,
You can't sleep without
Yeah,
it.
yeah. You're at like friends' sleepovers, and you're like, hey, do you have like any books that are over 300 pages that I can sleep on?
It's got to be hardcover.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man, but only one. That'll do. And you're just like standing on it in the corner.
Just like I'm just imagining like a Sid the Sloth-esque character whose body just bends to like perfect shapes. Just
Yeah.
like the book is in the middle and his body just goes like this.
Just like an inchworm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys ever
Perfect.
sleep weird when you were a child?
I don't think so.
I always slept weird, and I think we've talked about this. I don't think on the podcast.
You're a
but
big in the cave under the pillow kind of guy.
yeah,
right?
so I used to sleep with my head down like this. And I used to sleep like this with the pillow over my head until my sister was like, you're not going to have a neck by the time you're 30. And I was like, oh.
And now that's really funny because now you've done a complete reversal,
Yeah.
a
And
complete 180.
vampire.
Yeah,
And yeah,
just
Preston,
in the
It's
Preston
so
is
good
just
for you.
perfectly
Yep.
straight, like hands at the sides,
Yep.
head straight.
Well, I used to do hands, what do you call it, like folded on the dick, but I've stopped that.
Hands folded on the dick.
Oh,
Like I used to
Ah, okay.
this.
That's nice. Protective.
But then it felt more like I was in a casket than if I
So,
had my hands
did
at
you
the
switch
side.
to the cross? Or,
Right.
or
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sleeping like this. Just hanging
little
loose.
casual.
Just hanging loose.
just ready for it?
That's funny. Okay, so now we know. I mean, maybe this had to do with the fact that, you were a young boy with a young mind, very plastic mind.
Right. Moldable.
Moldable, and so that's why you like reverted so harshly, or
Right.
like changed so quickly and so strictly. But now I'm just thinking, what if we could just access that part of your brain and just train you, start training you
To do other
things. I think we just need to scare you enough. Because that's what it sounds like. Your sister was like,
Take enough boomers.
your neck's going to be fucked.
Yeah, well, my sister was like an anatomy expert since she was like a dance person. So like, she just knew so much about the body and she was so much older than me that I was like, oh my God, she's probably right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like you guys need to use your areas of expertise to scare me in some way.
Channel that older sibling energy. and
Yeah.
Just
Like Cole, you could be like, hey man, if you don't eat a fruit and veggie a day, like by the time you're 35,
you're gonna have balls the size of your fist.
you have balls the size of your fists.
Inflamed testicles.
Inflamed testicles. Yeah, man.
Your toes are going to fall off.
Yep.
No teeth.
No teeth, no toes.
Or nose.
No teeth, no toes, no nose.
That sounds like a great 2009 Nicki Minaj rap right there.
No teeth,
Specifically.
no.
Yeah, next LooneyBin album.
True.
No teeth, no nose, no toes.
Yeah. We do have a LooneyBin album out, so if you guys want to go check it out,
Yep.
dig for it. It's called Jingle on the Street by Joe Gaines.
And what website is it on again? Because we don't have our own website. We found like a different one.
Right. It's on mybabiesfirstalbum.com
Yeah.
/
That was it. Yeah, that was the one.
Tickle Me Dunkers. I don't know.
Tickle me dunkers.
Dunkers, yeah, who's Dunkers? Is that like a command? Tickle me, Dunkers.
No, I was just thinking about the cookie dunkers from Trader Joe's.
But it's like combined with like Tickle Me Elmo.
Sure. Yeah. Tickle Me Elmo.
Tickle me
Tickle me pink.
Tickle me donkey.
Tickle me dunkers.
I like it.
Tickle me lavish.
Tickle
Sorry.
me, lavish.
Tickle me.
Tickle me.
Tickle me Jones. That's my new nickname. Tickle me Jones.
Tickle my bones.
Tickle my bones.
Tickle my bones.
This is reminding me. So we want to do, and sound off in the comments if you think this is a good idea. But this sort of improv, building on each other moment that we just had. We have this idea that we did in college once, just, on a whim for fun. It just kind of happened organically. But basically what we do is we find this backing track of music on YouTube that's for like a musical or something that could be
So
used.
basically, I found this YouTube channel that's called Unfinished Songs, right? And they'll give you the description in the video where it's like brassy pop, funk, guitar, bass track or something like that. Or like bluegrass guitar, like dreamy intro or something like that. Like it'll give you like a brief description of the song, like what you're about to hear, and you can kind of like picture, okay, I can picture a bluegrass twangy guitar blues intro, whatever the hell. And so yeah, in college we found that like YouTube channel, and like as we were playing Xbox, I was playing the songs and we were making up a musical. And I was like, all right, guys, here's the next song. And it would just start playing like a brass fanfare or something. And then you just have to go with it and make up a song. And we would tell a story. But, you're not actually singing. It's more like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
what is that? What is that melody?
Finally, we made it.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be here
Yep.
with you
With me?
and me
Yeah.
and her.
Yes.
Yeah, just like that, and you kind of like slowly develop a storyline and you get characters going but
And honestly, you like don't have time to think, so you're just
Right.
kind of
It's
just
just random
word
shit.
vomit,
Yep, just
which
that one
eventually
filter.
turns into something, and like somehow the horse is transsexual, and now you're riding a pigeon, and like yeah,
Right.
I don't know, it just turns into that.
yeah. But we want to try and do it for a stream, just like who knows if this will work, who knows if we'll be able to actually pull it off and be
Right.
funny or not, but
That's very true.
it's definitely a dangerous. It's
Very
like a I don't know if this will work. Who knows if we're funny enough or like if it'll just because it just has to like flow.
Yeah.
And obviously it takes a little bit to get into it and stuff like that.
But
But
once you get in the groove, as long as you don't, say anything crazy,
right.
you get a bunch of guys with unfiltered
Yeah, that's-
brain waves coming out.
Yeah, that's
Who knows
that's
what's gonna
scary.
happen. Yeah.
Sketchy.
No, we're good at that.
True.
So guys, I went to the gym today.
You went to the gym today.
Cole took me on a little journey. We went to the gym.
Yep.
I woke up today, and I've kind of been wanting to go to the gym recently. I've been eating a little healthier, and I'm like, okay, let's make like another step. I kind of haven't really been working a lot recently, so I've kind of been feeling like I don't do anything all day until someone gets home, and then we do something. So I'm like, I just need to like...
Need another thing in my life.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I just feel like I don't do anything. I either work, or I play Fishing Planet, or I like do LooneyBin stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, let me just like look up like home workouts and stuff. And so I was looking up home workouts, and there was something about tying bed sheets together and using them as like pulley things. And I got out my like camping mat, and I was like doing some like push-ups on there, and I was just like, this is so dumb. I was like, I just feel stupid.
Yeah.
And it's about 11 o'clock. I told Cole we'd wake up at 9:30, but it's 11 o'clock at this point, and I rush into his room, and he's fully clothed, sleeping on the bed. And the first thing I said to him was, "You sleep with your clothes on?"
And, I don't think I was under the covers at that point either.
No.
Just face down.
Yeah, your laptop was half open. You had your socks off that were thrown on the edge of the bed, and you were laying like this. Kind of like you were doing a dance.
It's like a Pixar animated movie moment.
It looked like the
Literally.
classic like dead guy chalk outline. Like that's how Cole was laying. And
It was incredibly comfortable.
yeah, and I
So comfortable, in fact, that I fell asleep mid TFT game and just said, I could try and stay awake a little longer, but
yeah.
I'm going to bed.
I'm sleeping.
What are you gonna do? Good night.
And Matt's on the Discord call. Cole?
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hello.
And so then I'm like, Cole, like, let's make a difference today. Let's make a change.
True.
Yep.
And Cole's like, well, we could go to the rec. And I'm like, let's go to the rec. Let's go to the rec. And so
Finally caved.
we go to the Rec and Wellness Center, U of M, Twin Cities campus.
Preston even put on a U of M t-shirt.
I even put on a U of M t-shirt.
Blend in.
Yep.
Yes.
And I had my too small for me Nike sweatpants that were cuffed at the bottom with my Norwegian socks that were going up with my Adidas shoes on, and
Yep.
I was looking the part. I was feeling the part.
Yeah, it was a good college gym fit.
Yep.
Mm,
And we
right
get
in.
there, and we park in a nice place. We found a parking spot, luckily, and we're walking in, and like at the rec, you have to like scan your fingerprints or like scan your student ID, and so I had to basically. I kind of forget about this part of the gyms, but when you're like signing up for stuff, there's like something you have to sign off on.
Yeah.
So they're
like a
not
waiver or
liable.
some
Yeah.
shit,
Like you don't think about like a gym being liable and like you could actually hurt yourself
Until you have
dangerously.
fucking 200 pounds right above your neck.
And then
And
just,
you're like, oh, yeah, that's why.
Yeah. And I don't know. I thought it was just funny. And so we get in there, we're doing our exercises, and I figured out, Cole's like, okay, we're going to do this one, and we're doing some one-handed rowing, and, I'm just like, okay, I trust the process. And then Cole's like, we're done with those 4 sets, and I look at Cole, and Cole's like, kind of just looking around, and I don't know, let's do this now. And so we're going over and we're picking up this barbell and we're doing shrugs, and then we get done with that and I look at Cole again, and Cole's kind of just like
looking around like, what's open?
and I realize that Cole doesn't even know what he's doing.
I know. I've been doing this for years, but you still just walk in every day and you're just winging it.
This guy just walks in there and just kind of just like fiddles with something, and it's like Cole is total NPC behavior. Just walk over here, pick up this arbitrary item, and just kind of just do this for a second. And it's like, I was like, you don't know anything. And then I realized that no one knows anything at the gym.
Yeah.
And
We're all just monkeys.
yeah.
Doing what feels
Lift
good.
heavy thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was like, so am I doing this right? And we were doing like some shoulder shrugging. And Cole's like, you know what? Just find it and just make it feel good for you. Just whatever feels.
That's a good rule of thumb
right?
for life.
If you're feeling
Listen to your body.
yeah.
Yep.
He's like, you just I don't
feel
need to
the
tell you.
pump.
You just do
Right,
it.
right.
And because I feel like, when you're first like starting out in the gym, you're so concerned about like, am I looking stupid? Am I doing this right? Like, because obviously, like, you don't want to look stupid, but you're also like, okay, I want to like do this in the right form, so I'm working the right muscles we're trying to target, and or not hurting other things.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That's why it's so important to just go in, start with lightweight, and do what feels good. Just kind of like get familiar with the motion patterns. Almost just treat it like a game you're getting to know. Have fun with it. Like,
True.
Like if you go in the end of your workout, you get down on the mat and just roll around, stretch things out until it feels good, and then
It's really just toddler playtime.
Yeah.
In a big like,
it's a big old jungle gym. Like
Yeah.
it's a giant facility for adults to facilitate like active
That's the
play.
quote. It's a giant facility for adults to facilitate.
Right.
Like
Facilitate your facilitation.
you don't have playtime anymore when you're adult. So how do we stimulate that? How do we get your muscles to like work the way they would if you were in monkey mode?
Right.
We'll go and pick things up and put them down
That's
over and
awesome.
over again.
That's awesome. They should bring back playtime.
Literally.
should- okay,
I need
well,
recess.
They have those like parkour gyms. You seen those on
What?
TikTok?
Yeah, that shit's dangerous. Though.
It is dangerous. It's just like a bunch of fucking like wooden plywood boxes everywhere. And there's
Yep.
basically like these little towns. Like literally it's like a play set, but like an entire
is
warehouse.
it like Busy Town, but instead for teaching children how to
Yeah.
manage money, it's to teach adults how to jump and.
Well, it's basically just like a play place.
It's like
Right?
it's like a play place with big like boxes and small boxes and little windows
And rods and
and
stuff.
bars.
Is there
Bars.
still a McDonald's
Yeah, like have you
connected
seen?
to it?
No, there's no McDonald's. That's next door. Have you
Okay.
seen those like parkour tag
Yes,
competitions?
yes, I have.
It's like that, but like more spread out and less
And they're usually
dangerous
like
looking.
there's like themes.
Yeah.
There's like specific,
Oh.
like here's the
Like we're going
bank,
to
and here's
space.
the- yeah.
Space themed
Yeah.
parkour today. Do they even
Here's the
have those in
moon base.
Minneapolis?
I don't know.
What parkour gyms?
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
That'd be kind of
There's
cool.
no way they don't.
What other gym could we have?
We could go to like a climbing gym.
Climbing
We could
gym.
go to like
Guys, we
a,
should do LooneyBin
a
climbing.
fighting gym.
They
go
should
to,
have- they should have just a-
Muay Thai
like
gym,
a-
boxing gym.
They should have like
MMA
a just
gym.
a like mundane task gym. Like
Oh,
I'm
okay.
doing shoveling.
I thought you were gonna have a really great idea just then.
Shoveling
Oh, okay.
gym.
I was like, I was like,
Yeah. What
they should
gym?
have a.
Should have
like
tasks.
in my head, you were gonna say something like just a gym where you take your friends to like fight each other.
It's just a.
know,
it's just an octagon.
Yeah, let's do a LooneyBin octagon series.
Yeah, cage match.
Yeah,
And they just give
cage
you a bunch of
match.
foam weapons, and
Oh
you
my
just go
God.
nuts.
That'd be awesome. No, but I was gonna say there should be a gym where it's just like, all right, here's the shoveling station.
Yeah.
Here's the moving the furniture station, complete with the mad dad that doesn't want you to wreck the walls.
A line of lawnmowers to just start.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Go down the line.
There's actually a whole section that's dedicated to frustrated fathers that tell you to do something because they're actually trying to do something, but it
Right.
requires two people.
And here's the rickety light bulb that you have to like twist in, but you're just keeping your hand there for 5 minutes at a time.
And here's the laying on the cement floor of the garage holding a flashlight
Yep.
at the underside of the car.
But not there.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're slowly fading because you're looking over at something
Yeah.
else because you've just completely lost like any sort of like attention.
Exactly.
Sounds like where you send your oldest child to go learn how to help properly.
Yeah, true.
And then
Right.
you're fed up.
So we are
and
bringing back
you-
recess.
Yeah, exactly. You send them to boot camp, and they come back and know how to hold the fucking flashlight properly, hand you the right
Yeah.
wrench, all the nonsense.
You guys ever raked?
Yeah,
Raked?
Yeah.
like
Like
leaves.
leaves?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
Dude, I
hard.
remember speed running the backyard so I could go play.
It's so hard, man.
I think it's funny. I think it's so funny.
It's hard.
Well, okay, so I don't know. Maybe you didn't intend to do this, but it's just like I know that you, as like a partner on the podcast, are like you think of a thing that you want to talk about, right? And you're like, oh, I have an experience doing this. But then the way that you do it is you ask the other people, have you ever
to
done
make
this?
sure that I'm not the crazy one.
Right, well, or just to include everyone,
Yeah.
and then you kind of get it onto that topic.
Yeah.
But it's funny when you talk about something that's like very, very common.
And mundane.
And you're just like,
Obviously.
oh, I have a story about this. Have you guys ever raked
Raked?
leaves? And you're like, oh, wait.
I raked the leaves like most recently with my dad.
When was this? Like 6 years ago?
No, this was this
fall?
This fall I went over there, and he's getting older, so those yard tasks are kind of daunting on him. So I was raking leaves with him, and we have one of those bag openers where you roll it backwards, the opposite way that it's folded, so that it springs open and keeps the bag open.
It's a bag opener.
Oh, I see.
So it's just like a sheet, a laminated sheet of plastic that's like this, and let's say it has a slight curl from being used over time, right? So you roll it the other way, so it has some tension.
What are you rolling?
To make it smaller.
You roll it up like a little rug,
With leaves inside of it?
Nope. This is step one. This is step one.
I have the bag with me.
Yep.
I have the bag
Nate
with
has
me.
the bag.
The bag is separate?
All right, we're gonna
Yes.
teach you how to rake here.
Dude, we just used a
Handstand
tarp.
style.
We just put all the leaves on a tarp and dragged them over to the place they go.
the
That's
composting
one way
place.
to do it.
Yeah, the deep downs.
The deep down.
Where all the leaves go.
So I have the roller, all right? So I'm
I
rolling
have the
it up.
bag. I have the bag still.
Okay.
All right, Nate, open up that
How
bag.
big is it?
It's one of those Menards,
Oh.
like,
Oh,
you have to kinda-
no. Oh, okay, yeah. Get it.
and you have to kind of just stuff your arm all the way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To,
Oh no, it's not staying.
It's like a garbage bag?
Look at both
No,
of the sides are squished.
it's like a big paper bag. It's like a 30-gallon big paper bag.
Gotcha.
You seen them on the side of the roads? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
When people are
Yeah.
putting them out for garbage day?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you put that roller that you have the tensioned all up in that bag, and then it comes all curled up and
And then-
uncurled, and then it holds the bag.
Bag open.
Open.
Because when you're like this and you're like, and it
Yeah.
just like flattens. And
Yeah.
you're like, I can't get anything in there. So you need a third
Nice.
person. You
Fancy.
have this thing.
How do you get it out?
You just pull it out when you're ready to be done.
Word.
Yeah.
That's how it usually works.
Word.
Just pull it out when
Just
you're ready to
pull
be
it
done.
out when you're ready to be done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pulling out. But back to my raking. And we're like 11 piles in. My front yard's pretty generally bigger than my backyard, and I'm like, God, this is tough. This is hard. I'm 23, and my dad's done this for 40 something years. And I'm also going to probably have to do this for another 40 something years. And
Yeah.
I've always kind of thought I wanted like a big yard, or like this is my space. And then I'm just like,
Every additional square foot.
one more foot to
One
rake.
more foot to rake.
Preston,
Mow.
Yep.
Shovel.
Yep.
here's the thing.
Okay.
That you actually should not be raking your leaves.
That's a fact.
Okay, but like, it's just like, yes, sure, like ecologically and like economically, and like there's probably a lot of reasons, like
Probably shouldn't. mow your lawn
groundwater
either.
filtration and compost and better for your lawn. Great. Love it. Love to hear it. But when you see those glares of your other 65-year-old neighbors that they've raked their lawn to pristine, and Bill comes out every day with his gloves and he is picking up leaves one by one.
That's when you
As soon as they fall.
God,
Yep.
You just need like a campaign sign, but instead of for a politician, it's just "fuck you, I'm not raking my leaves."
This is for the trees.
Yeah.
I speak for the trees.
I
No
won't rake
more
leaves.
No more rakes.
Yeah.
Abolish rakes.
No, I think raking and conventional lawns, it's just a little stale, Like, what kind of other ground cover can we use other than your crappy Alabama bluegrass?
I mean, I've seen
Shit.
those lawns that are just like prairies,
We were talking
Prairies
about
are just
Henry
like
and
a bunch of creeping Charlie and dandelions and wildflowers and clover and
I mean, if you get out further enough, like my uncle that lived in Big Lake, like he didn't have lawn care or anything. He just
Yeah.
let it grow, and it was mostly dead anyways. So fuck
Yeah.
it.
I feel like, I don't know. I don't think I could do that because I really dislike the look of
Dead grass.
Well, just an overgrown grass yard.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the look of like plain sort of like tall grass. What am I trying to?
Sure, tall grass.
Like
Yeah.
wild grass.
Yeah, where it has
I
little
think you can
seeds
get the
on
right
top.
Yeah.
species involved. Tall grass isn't super safe for small children, but
Why?
well, there's like snakes and shit hiding in there, and you lose your kid.
But
But
go
also,
out and
Like they
play.
go one way and you can't see them.
But think about it.
They're gone.
That would be the best thing as a kid.
Oh
though.
yeah.
You go in
Not as a
there
parent,
and you
but
just
as a
start
kid?
like digging into
Oh, yeah.
it, and it's like the entire yard
Yeah, but-
is your fort.
Yeah, but then I
Come
go
up on
out
a mountain
there.
lion, it's just oh shit.
Summer's over and it's time to like clear it up, and I'm going out there
With your
and
scythe.
then I just to like kind of trim things up
Yeah.
and whatever, keep it manageable. And then I'm out there and I see a 6-foot fucking hole in the middle of it that I couldn't see because the grass was covering it. It turns out you've been fucking digging every time you go out there. And now I have a fucking giant hole.
Fall in the hole and can't get out.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a whole undercity.
It's like prisoners.
You've been putting out like just different like traps with different barbed sticks in the bottom. Like you definitely have to.
You've
You
been
have to
preparing
know
for
your kid,
invading
you know?
bandits,
Yeah.
And you had no idea.
The possibilities though for that kid.
Yeah.
I just know that as a kid, like if I had that, it would just be the best. Because as a kid, I did have cattails, like reeds, lake
Oh my
lake
God.
cattails.
I loved cattails.
I
So-
never knew how to.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Nice. I remember we used to go to the local like marsh or swamp or whatever. Yep, you just keep shaking your head, and we'd pick cattails with.
You know what I'm talking about, though? You know where they're like.
Yeah.
They're doing it to the fluff. All the fluff is coming
Yeah,
out
so
of
you
it.
come out at the right time and they're really fluff, and then you twist them, like give them a snake bite, and you get all this floof, and you throw it in the road, and the road
Yeah.
is just covered in
Yes.
floof, and the car goes by, and it's the coolest thing ever. Whoosh. Yeah. To be 12.
Oh, to be 12, jerking off cattail.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow. What the fuck?
You're out training for cross country in 6th grade and picking cattails and getting floof and throwing them at each other and fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever eat one?
I did bite one like
Yeah.
a corn dog once.
Yep, and then it just keeps
And then-
coming out of your mouth.
Yes, it
It's
expands.
yep, it just keeps
freaking
fucking
explodes.
Yeah, just awful.
I don't think I got that far.
It's weird.
You didn't, yeah.
Maybe I'm not eating them at the right time. Maybe I'm just.
No, you probably ate one that wasn't ripe.
How does that work?
What do you mean? It's like
How does it
seeds
explode? You
getting
know.
ready.
What
It's
is
like a
what is the
dandelion.
outside coating? What is that?
That's actually really interesting to
Floof.
think about. Like it must be so tightly packed.
Yep.
But then as soon as it's disrupted,
Then it
It
just
just,
starts
like-
going nuts.
yeah.
weird.
We had this park by our house, and it had a lot of cattails, and it was called Coon Creek Park, right? And there was always shenanigans going on. My friends lived close to there. Eric lived over by the
Is that
park.
the basketball
and-
court?
No,
Gotcha.
that's Patrick's Park.
Yeah, fuck Patrick's Park.
Yep. But the park by Eric's house, we bike over there. It's called Coon Creek Park, and it had this little general store that was like maybe a shack, maybe, right? One room, and it was just a little square, right? You walk in, and it's just like a square of shelves,
Like
and then it's
Adams?
just it's even smaller than an Adams. It's probably as I don't even think it's as big as this room. Like
What?
What do they sell there?
it was called Millie's,
Mm-hmm.
then converted to Ted's.
Ah,
You know, you get your little creekside snack there. There's an old man that is just kind of breathing like kind of there. He's not doing it intentionally. He's just breathing.
Yep.
You know? And then there's this haircut place next to it not called Kids Cuts, but it's called like Kids Hair. Yeah, Kids Hair or something like that. Just something really generic that like all these people get their hair cut at. And I knew the kid that got his haircut cut there. And I was like, you get your haircut cut there? Because, you know, as a kid, you don't really trust businesses that look like houses.
Yes.
You know that? You know that
Yes.
phenomenon?
Yes.
We were like, this is a house. This
completely
isn't a
relate.
this is not a business. It's a house.
And you're like,
Right.
am I about to
Weird.
get
This is
kidnapped right now?
weird.
Right.
Who lives here?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So down by that lake, there was cattails and there was a fishing dock, and you know, sometimes we'd like, hey, let's go fish. Let's go fish in the lake.
Yep.
And
Get your spool of fishing line and your
Yep.
little hook with a piece of corn
and Mitchell
on it. and a
Mitchell would
wine
get the
cork.
power bait because he's really into fishing, and we were using Mitchell's fishing gear, and so somehow the power bait, I don't even know, it's just like the most like toxic weird yellow, neon yellow,
Yep,
smells like
just
fucking
nasty.
It's just like it's probably not even good for the fish. It's not good for the lake. It's not, but somehow it just is like what we're using, you know. Somehow that gets pushed off the ledge, and now Mitchell's really mad, and he's like, my dad's gonna kill me if I don't get this power bait back. And it's just floating. We just see it just floating. He's like, I didn't knock it off, so I'm not getting it. And we're like,
But he's the one who's.
and we're like, no one's in swim gear, so bye power bait. And he's like, and Mitchell was one of those friends, you know, those friends as 12-year-olds where, you know, they're physically overpowered. They can like physically overpower you, and so they'll do anything. You know? Like they'll kind of just beat you up, or kind of just like hold you down, and not like punch you, but like they'll give you the business. You know?
They give you the business.
You know, Mitchell was that friend to us, and so we're like, I don't know what to tell you, Mitchell. I'm not gonna go jump. He's like, well, one of you guys is gonna go get that power bait, and so that guy was Eric Sagnus, and he had to jump in the lake with his clothes on, swim out and get the power bait. And Eric is, you know, just a little scrawny little boy, and he gets the power bait. And Eric never like took swimming lessons or learned how to swim, and so he's kind of just like dog paddling his way along, and he's doing great. And he grabs the power bait, and he's coming back, and that's it. He gets the power bait. He gets the power bait.
I was waiting for something terrible.
I was also trying to think of something terrible, but I was like, oh wait, this story ends nicely. And so we saved the day. We saved the power bait. Mitchell didn't beat us up. Eric was soaked, and that was kind of it.
Oh my god.
We later learned that lake had amoebas in it.
That shit's dangerous.
Yep, and they were like toxic amoebas. And there was this one kid named Grant who lived across the street from Patrick, who swam in that lake in high school. And I don't think we saw Grant for about a month after he swam in that lake.
Damn.
I don't know what happened to him. I think he was. I heard reports that he was throwing up and that he was like really nauseous, and I don't know. He got the amoebas. So now whenever we think about lakes, it's like, hey, you gonna get the amoebas or what?
Oh, it's there. It's like really dangerous. Like there's, I think Montevideo or something like that. Someplace near, like between like Benson and Spicer. There's a kid who just jumped into the lake, and he died because the water went up his nose.
He missed the jump or what?
No, the water went up his nose.
And then what happened?
It got into his brain.
Oh
and
my
it killed
god!
him.
Yeah, I think we talked about this
on
like an early episode of the podcast.
You don't have healthcare in Benson?
Well,
not if it's in your brain.
I don't know if they can do anything about like
they don't have brain care.
Bacteria getting into your brain. But yeah,
does the nose go right to the brain?
Well, that's how they did it for the mummies.
Yeah, they
spoon.
I thought the nose goes back down to the throat.
Yeah, but you can get up there.
Yeah, but you have to break something, right?
Yeah,
like
probably.
Wow, how fast do you think the water went in his nose?
It probably just got in there.
That's a good point.
You guys ever get chiggers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible time.
It's bad, Brad.
Might be the worst thing.
What are they? They're little worms that
child.
get in your skin?
Yeah, little bugs.
I think they're mites. Yeah,
they're like mites.
Parasites.
They're like sand mite.
Yeah, they live in the snails. The ducks eat the snails. Ducks poop in the shallow water, and then you swim. And the chiggers get in your skin.
Usually it's from like playing in the sand where, like if the lake is infested, like they like live in the sand. I think.
Sanded by the waters.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think I've played in sand.
by the water. Yeah.
You guys ever played in sand?
Yeah. I have actually.
Good bit.
Good.
I played in a lot of different sands actually.
Really?
Sands all over the world.
What was the best sand you ever played in?
That's a great question, actually. That's a great
just
question.
want to know. What's the best sand you ever played in?
Top 3 sands.
Top tier list, sand tier list.
What's up, guys?
I gotta shout out the Black Sand beaches up in, what is that, like Two Harbors area?
Yep.
That was pretty sick. There was
And what is that? That's just finely ground rock? Or what is that?
That's what sand is, Holmes.
Well, this rock is different though. This rock is different.
It's a different color rock.
Right?
Yeah.
It has to be. Isn't it just like black?
Yeah.
All right, so that beach is completely not natural. That's only from them mining iron. So
Alright.
it's just
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the ground of
It's
rocks.
the dumping ground.
Yeah, I knew the
Dumping grounds?
rocks were different.
Well, I'm sure you can find black sand elsewhere.
Okay.
It might not be quite as like
Prominent.
probably as
You'd have to pick out like
mono-colored.
one out of every 50 grains in sand, and then you put them all together.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So, number 2 sand was probably the sand dunes in Morro Bay, California.
Wow, where's that?
It's in California.
Yeah.
It's in a place called Morro Bay.
Right.
Yeah.
North? Morro Bay?
I think it's north of Santa Barbara.
Okay.
I don't know. They've got
Shout out
got a giant.
Is that where the
boulder.
moray eel is named after?
Don't think so. There's a giant rock, like just huge rock,
Mass-
like a monumentally sized rock.
I'm thinking of it.
Massive, massive rock,
Yep.
like so huge.
Wow. That's a
like-
big rock.
Like multiple Kaufman Memorial Unions stacked on top of each other.
What a weird unit of measurement. Okay, I pictured the
Maybe
rock.
like a Kaufman on top of a Northrop. Maybe there's another one in there.
Right.
Just huge rock on this beach, and then
Wait, no,
across the
no,
bay,
back to the rock.
across the bay.
I need more
there's
rock
These
information.
sand dunes you can like canoe or kayak to.
Yeah.
That I don't know.
I
it's
would
just,
say-
like rolling dunes. Very good.
Okay,
sand.
finish your list, and then I have a sand list.
Number 1 or number 2 or number 3. Not really. I guess not really in any particular order.
Yeah.
Would be like this. Was in. I want to say it was in like Tampa area. Just this really like powdery. You know, like when the sand is so fine that you
It's like
can't
just-
feel it. It almost just turns into like
Yes, dust.
dough.
Yeah.
It's like, and when it's just like weird feeling, like, you know, like
Yeah, I don't like grainy sand. You know,
it
you
feels
want
like
fine
you're walking on
sand.
powdered sugar.
Yeah.
Like it's like, what is happening right now? This feels so wrong.
You slip so much easier though.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just go.
And it kind of makes that weird noise when you step on it.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah, exactly.
kind of thing.
Yep. Goated sand.
Number 1 sand.
Number 1 sand is
Number one
anywhere there's sand,
sand
where it makes
list.
that weird noise when you walk on it.
Right, that's a good sand.
Yeah.
And finally, at number 1.
You know, I have touched 3 oceans. That is
What
the
was the
thing I
third
can
one?
say. Indian.
Nice.
Yep.
Malaysia.
But I don't think I can make that sand. We were on an unkept beach. We kind of were after dark. It was just like we were roaming around alleys trying to get to the beach somehow because we were like, want to touch the Indian Ocean. Say we've touched like 3 oceans, spend some time on the beach. It's nighttime and it's very dark out there because like there's no lights where we were at. And so we're just walking on this beach and we're just getting stabbed by shells and we're just like, oh God. And it's just like rocks and like, so I don't know. Yes, it was a great experience, but I don't think I could put that on my top 3 sands.
That's okay.
Yep.
Good shout out though.
Yep. My number 3 sand, I was talking to Cole about this yesterday.
Really?
Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Cocoa Beach.
We were on the way to Orlando. I think we stopped maybe. It's on the coast. Orlando's, more
There is
inland.
some controversy about whether or not this is a real place.
Yeah. He wasn't convinced about Cocoa Beach's validity, but
In what way? Like the name of it, or like?
There's just an air of mysticism around it. Like, does it exist? Does it not?
right, because when I was explaining my memory to him, I was very young, and I was like, I think we went to this
Oh,
beach, and
I see what you're
I think
saying.
someone had a sweatshirt from it from my house, and I definitely think we went there,
But
but
did they make
you
the
couldn't find
sweatshirt
it?
at the beach? Did someone make this
right.
up later? Is this some?
is this
some
beach
kinda-
really called Cocoa Beach?
Yeah.
But I remember being a kid, and that was the best sandcastle building I ever did in my life, and I had the 4 Citadel castle with
Yep.
the middle, and my dad was there, and I was there, and God, he was so proud of me. And then,
The first and last time.
yep. So second best sand was down in Destin, Florida. I was on a trip with my high school girlfriend, and that beach was just goated for some reason. Just the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. It's
just-
much better than the Atlantic side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't so harsh,
Yeah.
just nice little like turquoise waters, Yeah, that was a good beach. That's all I got to say about it. My best beach though, for sand and like play and memories and gallivanting was in Oregon. And there was this really big rock.
Dude, how big?
It's an absolute massive rock.
How big?
Oh my God, it was so big. This rock was huge.
Bigger than my car?
Oh my God, bigger than your car, bigger than my house,
No
Bigger
way.
than Kaufman Memorial.
bigger than Kauffman Memorial, bigger than TCF Bank Stadium.
Oh my God, that's a big
It
rock.
was such a beautiful big rock.
Did it have a name?
Rocky.
Oh my.
I named him
Wow.
Rocky.
Wow.
I had to leave him there though.
You know.
I'm sorry for your loss.
But basically, this beach was like, you know, if you ever been to like out west and like the beaches on like northern Pacific, you know, the train is like up here, but to
Yeah.
get to the beach, it has to go
Oh,
like
yeah,
this
way down
really
there.
fast.
Yeah.
And so there was a lot of like sand dunes and like people were like, you know, surfboarding down these dunes, and me and Patrick decided to like climb up it, and it was such a brutal task, and we didn't have any water when we got to the top that we were just like, we don't have a surfboard. We have to
Oh
just
my
go back
God.
down, and it was so bad. But it was just such an experience, and it was like a beach I'd never really been to before. And we got there at like 6 a.m. because we knew that it would get really packed throughout the day because this was like a popular beach. I think it's called Oceanside City in Oregon. And like all the trucks, you could drive up on the beach. You could bring your car out on the beach, and like people were camping. They had tents out there when we got there, and it was just such a cool experience. And 10 out of 10 beach. They had the water, the rock, the big massive rock was actually not that big. It was more like, but it was very horizontal, right?
Very large.
So there were a lot of water channels that were really cool to watch,
Oh,
like
hell yeah.
come up, and like
Yeah.
the waves would splash, and like it create tide pools and little rock stuff.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did you see any like cool little things in the tide pools, like sea urchins and
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There was stuff like that, and
like mussels and
Stuff like that.
stuff like that, and yeah, like mussels and more
any fishies?
more mussels. And I brought my hammer.
Smack.
Hey.
Smack.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I had this crazy weird, like, fascination with tide pools.
Yeah, they're fucking awesome, bro.
But, like,
Where's a tide pool near you?
exactly?
Oh,
Like I
Benson,
it
I
was,
saw
it was
them.
a, it was a mythical thing.
exactly.
It was like an
I
oasis.
learned about them for the first time, and I was like,
Those are
"This
real.
is amazing." Right? And so
It's
I
like-
just wanted to I wanted a tide pool so badly.
It's like
And so-
every kid in the Midwest who hasn't seen the ocean but wants to be a marine biologist when they grow up.
Right.
Oh,
Because
I
tropical
did.
fish are like just so bewildering. Like,
Yes.
wow.
There's something.
They're
it's
that
so-
color. They're
there's
not just
something-
like brown.
It's not
And,
just
in water,
brown
it's
and
not
green
brown.
and muddy water.
yeah.
But yeah, so now I have experienced it. But honestly, like the wonder is still there. Like if like there's tide pools around, or like I find one or something like that, it's just like get down. Like we're looking
Yeah.
for everything that's
Right.
in there, stuff like that. But I wanted to bring up a story that I don't know if I've told many people, honestly,
Okay, let's go.
because I
I'm here
just
for
forget
it.
about it. But I also I'm not super sure when this happened. But I remember it was when I was younger. It might have been when we were in Texas, at the Gulf of Mexico.
On a mystery tour?
Yep.
Nice.
What does that mean?
You missed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch another episode of the podcast. We talk about it.
I'm exposing
TikTok.
myself as a fake fan.
Yeah. Basically, my dad and my mom just planned tours, planned trips where we didn't know where we were going, and they're like,
Oh,
get in the
that's
van,
awesome.
and we're going.
That's awesome.
But I don't actually. I think it wasn't. I don't think it was.
That is actually a fun idea.
It's super
It's
cool.
really cool, because then you're just like, all right, where the fuck are we going? And then we get there,
but then,
and we're
but then like the surprise makes
Yeah.
it almost like this is just like kind of just like a prairie nature reserve, but you know the surprise and the build up makes it so much more than grass.
Well, I'm
I
sure
mean,
it
we
makes the car ride, however long, a lot more.
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did some crazy stuff. Like we went to like this crazy cave, and like did a cave tour. Actually, we've done multiple.
Go
cave tours.
spelunking.
I've been on a cave tour. They had a wedding venue down in the cave.
That sounds
Really?
terrible.
Yep, they had the little arch and the altar, and then there was like 3 rows of pews
In a wet cave.
That sounds
wet cave
cold and
and-
wet.
a cold, dark,
and they were like
wet
little
cave.
it was like it was almost like, and then they had like a white picket fence behind it. It was trying to be something that it wasn't. It was very out of place. Everything was white.
Very
there.
clashing with.
And I was
the
like, what are we
environment.
doing here? This is not a cave.
You're not embracing the
No.
setting that you wanted
Yeah.
to be in.
If you want a white picket wedding, just go to Louisiana or something.
Right, just
Yeah.
Or
go outside
Benson.
the cave.
All right, back to your story though.
But yeah, so not really a mystery tour. We were going down to Texas to see my uncle, my dad's brother.
Yep.
And I think this was at the Gulf of Mexico. And I remember just, you're on the beach. And one of my favorite things to do at the beach, because I don't really like salt water, because it gets in my nose and it gets in my mouth and it's just,
And when you get out and
And
you dry
gets
off,
in your
you're all
eyes.
sticky and
yeah,
Sticky?
your hair's all fucked.
yeah, because you've got salt crusted all over your body.
Huh.
It's just weird.
Especially like the warmer the water, the saltier it is. So it's just more and more salty crust.
Why is there salt in the water?
I don't fucking know.
Like, why would they do that?
All right, Henry.
Who's
Why is
they?
there salt in the water?
You know, they, the creator, the omniscient they. Why would they do that?
Why would they do that? Probably to create more.
Yeah, look it up. Why is there salt in the water? Okay, so you're in the salty
So,
water, you come out.
I come out of the salty water because I don't really like the salty water because it gets in my eyes and
Yep.
whatever.
Your orifices.
My orifices.
Yep.
And so, but I really like to look around the beach for little animals because Minnesota doesn't have a lot of little animals just,
in the beach
at our feet,
Yeah.
right? And so there's like little crabs scurrying around and there's like, other things. There are some spiders. You gotta be careful. But there was this blue thing.
Uh-oh.
And I was like,
Wait, I know what that is.
what the fuck? This is so crazy. It's just this bright blue, like, it was like kind of see-through. And I was like, what is this thing? Like, I was like, what? It looks unnatural. It looks otherworldly. And I was just
Aren't those deadly?
Shh, I think that's the point of the story.
so I go up to it and I get closer. And I, like, even getting closer to it, like, I am right next to it. And I'm just like, I have no idea what this thing is.
Right.
I have never seen anything like this in my life. And
You know, that's how a lot of scientists felt. You know?
and then I said, I wonder how it feels though.
Yeah. How did it
And
feel?
I poked it
Yep.
with my finger,
Yep.
and it was squishy.
Hey, nice.
And
And
you're
then I
okay?
walked away.
Oh, thank God.
Wow.
And that was a Portuguese man of war.
Oh my God.
And I lived to tell the tale. And I had
Oh
no
my
idea.
God.
And I'm pretty sure my parents don't know about that because once I found out, I was like, oh, so I'm stupid.
Well, I think
That's terrifying.
That's a common thing in nature, right? If it's neon color, stay away. You know, it's poisonous.
That's true.
Honestly, yeah.
That's a good point.
They didn't teach you that in
But
homeschool,
also
though.
for kids, it's like in the 21st century, it's
yeah.
exciting.
Shiny.
Yeah.
Fortnite. Yeah. Slurp juice.
I just go.
Oh my God.
And you straight to the hospital.
You ever been stung by a jellyfish?
No.
Yeah, neither have I. So I guess we'll just
I
go to
heard
the next topic.
I heard you're supposed to piss on it.
Yeah. I think
Oh, my grandpa.
something about pneumonia or something.
My grandpa got. I don't think he got stung by a jellyfish, but I think he got cut on like
A barb.
coral.
Oh,
Oh.
cut on
Or
coral.
something like that.
Okay.
And yeah, he got peed on.
Really?
Yep, on his leg.
So Henry, why is there salt in the water?
Well, first off, I've been stung by a jellyfish before.
Really?
Not like bad, but
Where at?
I was in the Neuse River, North
Okay.
Carolina,
Oh,
Whoa.
like right next to the sea.
Didn't know they had jellyfish there.
Yep, lots of jellyfish.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
You guys ever seen a jellyfish spawn?
what does that mean?
Spawning event?
Is that what is in Finding Nemo? When they're jumping on the jellyfish and
Pretty much.
no, that movie is so great for marine
No, true.
phenomena and like.
Okay, back to salt in the water.
All
all right. So it says there's two ways. So the rainwater is dissolving the rocks, right? Then it goes
Oh.
into the river, goes into the lakes, and ends up in the ocean eventually. So all the water's ever so slightly acidic.
Right.
Just like runs down.
And all the minerals that it's
And
collecting.
it says like the fish and stuff use a lot of other things that are dissolved in the rocks, but the salt is what stays. So over time, it just gets more and more salty as it goes down. Then the other way is the ocean water going into the vents in the seafloor and getting heated up down there. All these chemical reactions and such, and then
Wow.
they come back out. Salty.
There's vents, man.
Saltier.
Salty.
God.
So I guess there's just a lot of rock salt in the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like one of those things where someone's like, oh yeah, why I wonder why the ocean is salty, and you're like, I should know this. Like
Right.
this is something that I should definitely
basic
know. That I
knowledge.
was definitely taught. Like, why is the ocean salty? But then you like hear that and you're like,
No recollection.
Definitely never knew that.
Yeah.
Huh. Sea vents,
That's
man.
Yeah,
crazy.
sea vents.
They open up?
There's
or?
crazy shit down in sea vents because it's like not a temperature or chemical conditions that life should or normally be able to live at.
And what
it's
is it?
so different than anything else you would see anywhere else on Earth, right? Just like the weird combinations of things.
Right.
There's a lot of like funky,
Like
unique
mutants?
little species live down there that don't live anywhere else.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to go live down there.
Yeah.
Give me
Down in a little sea vent.
Yeah, the little sea vents.
And that's not actual vent, right? It's just like there's little micro holes of air that are getting pushed up.
I thought they were like big vents.
You thought they were just big ass holes?
Yeah, cracks,
Like tectonic plates?
Yeah.
big ass cracks.
And then just
yeah.
like heat from the.
I thought it was
Bowl
like
shape.
I thought it was little bubbly bubbles.
I think some of them are big. Some
I'd
might
like
be
to see
little.
one.
I imagine. I imagine it's
Mystery
like
tour.
probably
Yeah.
glowing orange.
Mystery Tour
yeah.
2023,
Yeah.
the sea vent.
Sea vent.
That's a Looney
Yeah,
vlog
we're
right
going to the
there.
bottom of the Mariana Trench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, kids, open your eyes.
How did we
see
get
any.
here?
Yeah. My guts have imploded because of the pressure.
Yeah,
Jesus.
the walls are caving in.
So back to jellyfish spawning.
Jellyfish spawn. Yeah, so Morro Bay, California.
Yep.
I'm in a canoe, and we're going along trying to get to the sand dunes.
Yep.
Paddle, gotta go. And then eventually, like, I'm kind of just looking around. It's always really, really foggy there. Like, all times of day, anytime I've ever been. Very
Interesting.
foggy. You can't see the top of the rock.
Barack.
The rock. You can't
Barack
see
Obama.
the top of the rock. You can't see Barack either.
Right. He's been dead for years.
And eventually the sand dunes come into vision. You couldn't see them before because it's so foggy. But
Yeah.
you're looking down, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I see a jellyfish. Oh my god, whoa, I see another jellyfish. Oh my god.
Were they
oh
bioluminescent?
my- no, that would have been sick.
Yeah.
Oh my god, whoa, I see thousands of jellyfish
Whoa.
everywhere, like on top of each other, just like going deep. The whole bay, like as far as you could see, it was just jellyfish.
Oh my god.
Thousands and thousands of jellyfish.
And what
just
were
like
they
these
doing?
Little guys this big. They were just spawning. They spawn in there.
Wait, how big? How big?
Like big.
Holy shit.
Not super long tentacles, just like kind of like little pancakes.
Just kind of for boys.
Like they were just like
pancakes.
someone was
And
throwing
they're
the
just
Minecraft
fucking
spawn eggs
everywhere.
there.
Literally, like someone just had like
you
some nutso Gatling gun dispenser of
Right.
jellyfish spawner eggs, just going.
Could you
all
imagine if
over
that's
the
how it
bay.
actually worked? You're
They're
like,
standing on the top of the rock, all over the bay.
like each animal had their place
Spawn
of like
eggs.
just like where they're from, you know, like
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
like grizzly bears, you know, they're from like British Columbia, Canada. That's where
Yeah,
their
they're from
spawning
a
point
certain
is.
mountain there. And
Yeah.
they all wander from the top of
Yeah,
the
and then they
mountain.
just disperse from there, but they originate right there.
Right.
You know, they walk out of the cave, they get off the assembly line on 2 legs, and then they get out the door and just turn it.
And then the worker's like, Jerry, you're going the wrong way. Nah, he's too far gone.
Yep. Yeah,
And that's how we got polar bears. That's how we got them.
you walk out the
that's funny.
cave, you get hit with the little Men in Black light, you turn back into a just mindless bear.
You're like, yeah, so, yeah, how the kids doing?
Oh, it's great.
I mean, what are they, 13, 14 now?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I can't keep track either.
God, claws getting bigger a little
I
bit.
know.
That's always a good time.
Yeah.
Always a good. Bram.
Walter! Walter! He can't talk anymore. Oh my god. Could you imagine that though?
Put down.
What spawns in the sea vent?
In the sea vent?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you wouldn't believe.
What? Tell me.
Well, just lots
Please.
of tiny little guys.
I think, you know what I think spawns in the sea vent? I think vending machine refillers. Those
like
people that
people?
refill the vending machines.
They come out of the seat vent.
Yeah, they're. You ever seen a person that refills a vending machine?
Yeah, and by the time they get to the surface,
Yeah, I bet you haven't. You know why? Because they're not real. Those things are just staying
Wait,
stocked.
you've never seen someone fill a vending machine before?
No, I have. It was for
Really?
a bit.
I haven't.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I feel like it's rarer than you think. I've only seen it because
I feel like I've seen
on my
it happen
late
a lot
on my
of
late
times.
shifts at Bally. You know, that's when
Yeah.
they're doing their maintenance shit, and we've talked about maintenance shit at Bally before. And yeah, I was just walking down to the break room, and there was just a man refilling the
Don't they have,
peanuts
like-
and the
don't they have,
corn
like,
nuts and
vaults? Just like massive safe
yeah,
vaults that they have to put all the cash in.
yeah.
It's like a whole procedure.
It's like a big old lunchbox, but
Yeah,
it's
it's kind of nuts.
but it's metal
Yeah,
and holds money.
I suppose that would be probably.
pretty
How do they?
risky situation.
Yeah, like how do they take money out of like ATM machines, and like
How do
get
they
them?
put the money in?
Yeah,
Where's
I
the money
assume-
come from?
Well, no, like the money that's in the ATM
a
machine.
network
I
of
guess you
tunnels.
put it in.
It's a network of tunnels, Nate.
Yep. And you ever heard of dwarves, Nate?
And they come from the banks. They come from Gringotts
Yeah.
with their little sacks.
Yep.
Damn it,
And then they go
guys.
up in the vending machine. They put the money on the shelves.
And they put their little claw, right? And they go like this,
Yep.
and that opens up the vault. And
Yep. And then they go, "Hati," back in the tunnel.
Yep. And then they shake the rattler as they're going by the dragon.
Yep. Yep.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, true. And when you come to withdraw money, they kind of have to peer over the.
Yep. And you do persueso, and then the little mist just goes right by there. Oh, Miss Lestrange. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Shout out.
God, yeah.
Shout out.
And shout out to our sponsor today, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep. We've been playing you. You've been playing us,
Just
and we've spent $50 in in-game purchases.
Yep, and so did Harold, and he can't play it on his computer because he doesn't have a good enough GPU. So he bought the game and can't play it, but
God, it was like me
Yeah,
with
soon
Elden
enough.
Ring when that came out.
Really?
Yep. I still played it.
Were you
I
trying to
just
play it
played it
on
on
your
very-
shitter laptop?
Very few frames per second.
Wow.
Yep. All the enemies were invisible
No way.
the whole time.
How'd you play?
Get good.
You were just
damn.
You just playing on hard mode.
It was just random. It was
got
just
somewhere
random.
between-
Just
yeah, somewhere you can. So they've got like that lock-on feature where the little like white light appears, so you can track that,
Oh.
but you can't see like their weapons or what they're doing or their movements or anything. But you can see the dot do like little
right.
things, so you could learn the little.
Wow. That is
Right.
that is
So-
a weird, like, crazy strat.
You're getting
Yeah.
between 15 and 30 frames per second. It's just jumping all over the place. If it rains, you can't play until the rain goes away because it's just fucked. And you're just going around. You hop on the horse bull thing, but you can't see the horse because it's also invisible. Any entities, really.
Right.
If there's an NPC, you gotta listen to the voices until that you can find them because they're invisible too.
Right. And they're just saying, 4 shillings, 4
Yep,
shillings.
and you run around and you just
4 shillings.
exactly.
Oh, 4 shillings.
It's like playing
and then
Marco
you interact
Polo.
with them, you know? Yeah.
He's playing Marco Polo with anything,
Right.
everything, right?
Okay, so we had, so on Anna's birthday, we went to a bar and she invited like all of her friends, and so me and Jacob Corver,
Okay.
we were talking at a table, and Anna was kind of like, she was a few steps away, and we were just having this conversation. Anna comes up to our table, and as she was like walking up, she said to us, she was like, I feel like this is one of those like Skyrim interactions where as you get closer to the NPCs, they get louder.
Right.
And so then the next like 3 minutes, we proceeded to indulge her with this experience where she would back away and we would we would
Right,
bring down the
right.
volume of our conversation. And as she got closer, we would increase the volume.
Funny.
And
That's great.
yeah, it was just a very, very niche sort of experience there. But
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The things we'll do to escape reality.
The things we'll do to play the game you've been looking forward to for 4 years, even though your computer can't run it.
And thanks for escaping reality for an hour with us. This has been the LooneyBin Podcast. Stream it every Tuesday live, 7:30 on Twitch. And find it every Friday on YouTube.
Yeah. Friday
And,
morning, 8 a.m.
new vlogs coming every Saturday. We stream video games at 8 p.m. every Thursday, and then streams coming every Sunday. So, I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
get
of
your
things.
calendar out.
Yeah, Jesus. Like, log into I don't even know, the Google Meet Teams or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Follow
best-
LooneyBin on GCal
Yeah,
for all of
literally.
your LooneyBin needs.
The best thing you can do so you don't have to remember all these times is just subscribe and follow
Yep.
to everything.
Literally.
Turn those
Click that-
notifications on.
Click that bell icon. I also uploaded all the new seasons of the podcast on Spotify and Apple Music, so there's that. And yeah, it's been fun. So
True. Thanks, guys.
yeah, what a great
Cheers.
episode. And I don't know, don't jerk off cattail.
Don't check out the cattail. Enjoy your local tide pools and
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. See you later.